Hi guys, it's Christine and it's been a while. I look like a hot mess today, but I really wanted to film this video today because in the next couple days I'm going to be working on a video that is a big surprise, but I'm really excited. And if you follow me on Twitter, you might know what I'm excited about, but I am getting something in the mail and I'm going to show it to all of you and it's going to be awesome. But today I am making a video to talk to you about the book Night Film. I finished this yesterday and I slept on it and I think I am prepared to review it. So that being said, let's get started. So I picked up this book because a friend of mine recommended it to me on Twitter when I mentioned that I was finishing up my reread of House of Leaves. So I read House of Leaves and then I read The 13th Tale while I waited for this to be shipped to me. And both were spectacular, by the way. And this got here from Amazon and I was really excited to start reading it. It was a perfect day to start reading it when it got here because it was like rainy and gross and cold. But I ended up only paying $8.25 for this and its cover price is $28. So I was very happy of the price that I managed to get this for, which is kind of a steal. So the premise of Night Film is that this disgraced investigative journalist, Scott McGrath, finds out about this guy who is the reason for his downfall, Stanislaus Cordova. Cordova's daughter, Ashley Cordova, has committed suicide. And so he wants to figure out why she committed suicide because he's convinced that somehow the director and this girl's father is the reason that she killed herself. Kind of a mystery, kind of a thriller, kind of creepy. There's a lot that happens and there's not a whole lot that can be taken out because it all links together, but it just goes on and on and on and on. You just kind of follow them in their day-to-day investigation. Scott and then his two people who join him, kind of, Nora and Hopper, who are interesting characters. But it just kind of plods along and I was really interested the whole time, but I realized around page 300 that not that much had actually happened. They were just kind of unveiling clues. There wasn't a whole lot of difficulty in obtaining these clues. There were just a shit ton of them. So I was riveted, but I was also kind of frustrated that not a lot was really happening. Additionally, this book is not going to be for everybody. Something that I've noticed in a lot of Goodreads reviews is everyone is super pissed about how much Marisha Pessl uses italics. She's very specific on how the reader should be reading her dialogue. And that gets kind of frustrating because at a certain point, it's like, do you even trust your reader at all to read what you've written? Because every word that should have been emphasized was italicized. And that kind of got grating after there's 10 of those on a page. So that got a little bit annoying, but I wasn't nearly as annoyed by it as other people have claimed to be on Goodreads. It was kind of just a weird thing that I didn't really like, but it wasn't something that really detracted from the reading experience. Something that I did really like about this book was the multimedia aspect. So after the prologue, there's immediately these fake web pages from New York Times, which explains a lot about this director and his daughter. Stuff. There's a slideshow with all this text, which is really cool. And in this first slideshow, this multimedia thing, there was a symbol of a bird. You can kind of see that. And I was like, what is this? What? And so I flipped to the back of the book and there were directions on how to access the interactive elements of this book. So I just got on my iPhone and went to the App Store and looked up Night Film Decoder, because that's what the app is called, and downloaded it, and that was really cool. And I think they should have put this kind of notice at the beginning of the book, because there's a lot that goes into the interactive elements that just kind of amplify the effects of the story. I'll give you an example. So here's the app. I don't know if you can really see that very well. And you tap and you hit scan. So going back to this page, you scan the page, scan the page, scan the page, click the thing, and then there's a PDF of a class syllabus about Cordova films. There are audio files, there's like a cool song, like a ton of PDFs. There's a PDF of all of Cordova's like movie posters. There's a like found diary, which is obviously like typed up, and some of it was kind of hokey, but it was really cool. But it did lengthen the reading experience because some of these audio files were like 7 to 12 minutes long, so they were kind of lengthy, and then some of the things you had to read were kind of long, the like PDFs that came up. But it was really cool, and I've never read a book that had that many interactive elements to it, and so I was always really looking forward to all the like web page sections because there was almost always one of those bird symbols, so there's always going to be something else to look at and to discover or listen to. But I was kind of disappointed because there were a ton of those at the beginning of the book in the first 100 or 200 pages, and then there were probably just as many in the last 400 pages as there were in the beginning, so there weren't really that many. And so I felt like it was sort of by the end of the book it was just an afterthought to put these in, which was kind of disappointing because that's where all of the plot building happened. So I was kind of hoping there would be a lot more that would kind of tie everything together and tie me into it, and there really wasn't. So I think they could have done a better job of dispersing those throughout to really hook you into the story. But overall, I really enjoyed this book, even though it sounds like I kind of didn't. There were a lot of things to criticize, but I really appreciate what Pessl was trying to do in this book. She was trying to kind of mold this figure of this like, totally crazy, eccentric, recluse film director and build all this character and build all these creepy settings, and it sort of worked, but I could kind of see through what she was doing a lot of the time. But so I appreciated what she was doing and I could respect it and I enjoyed it. It just wasn't exactly what I was hoping it was going to be. I did really like the ending. I've seen a lot of people on Goodreads complain about the ending because it kind of leaves you up in the air. The whole book, she's kind of setting you up to this like supernatural, like creepy, weird story, but then she offers kind of an alternate, you know, realistic explanation, and then the very end you kind of have to choose for yourself which one is the truth. And that's kind of what the whole book boils down to, is this search for the truth and kind of deciding what you're going to believe. So that was kind of my favorite part of the book, is the last 100 pages. She's kind of tying everything together in one end of the story and then offering a completely different explanation for everything that's happened over the last 500 pages. And you get to decide what you think is the best way for the story to end. That kind of made the whole long plodding reading experience of the middle of the book totally worth it for me. So all in all, I rated this 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I would highly recommend it because it was really entertaining. It was definitely a good Halloween time book to read because it was creepy and it takes place, I think it's around this time because Ashley Cordova kills herself on like October 11th. So it's pretty close to this time of the year, so it was definitely a well-timed read. So if you have read Night Film and want to talk about it, please let me know because I want to know what other people thought of this book. So you guys will be seeing me in just a couple of days. I'm going to be making a video about my special surprise that I'm getting in the mail, and I am super excited to share this with you guys, and I hope that you guys are going to be looking out for that video. But in the meantime, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will speak to you guys in just a few days. Bye!